What is bliss? It's Ananda. Bliss does not completely explain what Ananda is. Anyway, that is the nearest word we can find in English. We know this is the atmosphere in Parabrahmaloka. We carry this in our Anandamaya Kosha. The very name speaks. This kosha, which is sheath, is Anandamaya, full of Ananda. We carry this bliss. Bliss is also a state of being. In the material cosmos, we know there are billions of galaxies, different lokas, and they are in huge space. There is a lot of space. This is not an empty space. This is the ocean of consciousness. We have to remember this always. This ocean of consciousness is unmanifested part. God manifested as light, then as consciousness. There is no further manifestation like galaxies. So to that extent, this is the unmanifested part. In this part, in this ocean of consciousness, there is bliss. It may not be the Ananda of Parabrahmaloka, but there is a lot. In this space, it's the consciousness where no creation occurs and also no destruction occurs. It's a state of perfect balance. It's a state where there are no dualities. It's very important to understand. It is the unmanifested part. It's full of bliss. We can say it is an ocean of bliss, you can say. If we can tune to this ocean of consciousness or the ocean of bliss, we will experience the highest samadhi. We have to experiment and experience things. Bring this bliss, Ananda, from this Anandamaya Kosha. Before spreading, try to experience it. You will experience samadhi. I am repeating deliberately. This bliss itself is enough to help us experience samadhi. And if you can tune to this ocean of bliss, imagine the quality of samadhi. If we experience this ocean of bliss, when we are living in this body, we will have the best of the health. This ocean of bliss has the golden light. You can also describe it as the ocean of golden light, which is bliss, which is also consciousness. That is why we have clearly explained, whenever you bring out Ananda from Anandamaya Kosha, for Shambhala principle number 1, we suggest bring out the golden light and spread it around. If we can experience this ocean of light, tune to it, we will be living in Satyuga all the time. If we carry bliss in this entire system, either connected to the ocean of bliss or brought out from within, we will not be touched by time. There is one more point, very interesting, related to this, no doubt. If you carefully observe, whenever you are experiencing a joy, whenever we experience nature, sunsets, moon rises, butterflies flying, whenever we experience anything that is good in this life, somehow we have to be very carefully observant. Somehow there will be a tinge of sadness. We may not be really, why should we feel sad when you are dancing and enjoying life? Why should you feel sad, a tinge of sadness? The tinge of sadness is because somehow we know this moment is temporary. Sunset, when you are watching the sun, in a minute he will just go down. All the beauty, it is temporary. The whole creation is temporary. Everything vanishes. When you become aware of this, a kind of there are no exact words to describe this state, but I say a tinge of sadness, which helps us to understand. Why I'm mentioning this is in the background. The state of bliss is beyond this. Rishis always live in this state where there is neither joy nor sorrow. It's a state of perfect harmony with divine. I'm repeating this. If we can live in this state of bliss, the minimum thing is we will be having very good health, which is important. We are not touched by anything. Imagine the rishis. They'll be witnessing a lot of destruction when there are typhoons, tornadoes, earthquakes, even accidents. Destruction of life is a part of this whole process of creation and living there. If rishis begin to feel sorry and go on crying, they must be crying every moment because there is so much of pain in this world, in this creation. They do everything to help us to get over this grief. They do everything to protect us. Fine. But sometimes they have to allow this